Welcome everyone, the Bhagavad Gita. Now we have come to that point where Krishna, reveals that he is everywhere, and that literally means everywhere. Now when Arjuna was coaxed to take on his bow and arrow, he did not move. And of course, across the sacred field of Kurukshetra, people started murmuring. And these uneasy murmurs that had been rippling, it was from both the armies, and it started becoming very loud and intense. The questions running through the minds of the soldiers on either side were the same. What in heaven's name was happening on the chariot over which the flag of the monkey god fluttered so proud and strong? Why was the mighty Gandiva, a gift from the gods to the greatest archer in the world, not at Arjuna's shoulder where it belonged? What kind of conversation could be so important that it needed to be conducted moments before what threatened to be the history's bloodiest war? And when would it end? So all these questions were going across everybody's mind on both the sides. Among the commanders on each side, however, the mood was entirely contrary. On the Pandava side, the commanders looked more than a little worried. Their champion Arjuna would never let them down. But this pathetic creature hunched over on the floor of the chariot, his body language screaming hopelessness, was not even a shadow of the fearless, straight-backed warrior they knew and trusted. On the Kaurav side, Duryodhana and his favorite brother Dushasana were allowing themselves tiny smiles of triumph. It was too soon to start celebrating, of course. They had never known Arjuna to turn his back on a fight, but from where they stood, it certainly looked incredibly as if Krishna was trying and so far failing to coax his friend to don arms. Maybe, just maybe, their arch nemesis had chickened out at the sight of the splendor of the Kuru army, cracked under the pressure. Like vultures sensing an imminent feast, they shuffled their feet and waited. In the chariot, Arjuna's mind was in turmoil. He understood some of what Krishna was saying. He even agreed with him, but he had always believed that the supreme God he had worshipped all his life was a remote, inaccessible being who lived in a faraway heaven, someone who could only be persuaded to show himself through severe penance. Now here was his best friend, his mother's brother's son, whom he had known so well for so many years, insisting that he was the Lord himself. How was such a thing possible? As if he read his mind, Krishna began to speak once more. Partha, know this. Very few men strive for perfection. Very few try to really understand me and my true nature. Most are just happy to stumble along from day to day, following orders, doing things as they have always been done, not even trying to rise above the rut or think differently or wonder about things. Of this handful of people who try, only one, maybe, really knows me. Therefore, let me enlighten you. Let me explain to you my true nature to erase your doubts. By these words, Arjuna sat up straighter. He looked closely at Krishna's face. It was familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. It was suffused with a strange, unearthly glow. He looked gut-wrenchingly beautiful. His voice, when he began to speak, was so deep, so mesmerizing that Arjuna could have sat there listening to him all day. Krishna spoke. I am earth and water, fire and ether, and the very air that trembles around you. I am the power of your mind and the depth of your understanding. I am who you think you are. I am the beginning and the end, the genesis and the dissolution. All beings take birth in me, and to me they return after death. I am the essence of the waters gone there, the heady fragrance of the giving earth. I am sunshine and moonlight and the blaze of a roaring fire. I am the seed of all life. I am the life sleeping inside every seed. I am the wisdom of the wise, the strength of the strong, the splendor of the splendid, and the breath of your breath. I am everything that the man who is free of desire desires. There is nothing higher, O Dhananjay. There is nothing else. All the worlds, those that you live in, those that you see around you, and everything else in between, rest upon me like pearls on a string. Thank you for listening.